My name is Ashton Applewhite, and I am a writer and anti-ageism activist. My main blog is called thischairrocks.com, and I also have a blog called Yo Is This Ageist, which is a question and answer Tumblr modeled on this fantastic site, Yo Is This Racist. I would say the very first place to look for ageism is in ourselves. You have to have awareness to have change. And we live in a society where we've, started to realize that it's not okay to be racist, and it's not okay to be sexist, and it's not okay to be homophobic, but where cracks at old people for being, stupid or forgetful, or even, repulsive. I mean, horrible things just don't bleep onto people's radars. So all of us, have grown up in a culture where that was completely acceptable and unquestioned. All stereotyping is, of course, a bad idea, but especially when it comes to age, because the longer we live, the more different from one another we become. Geriatricians have a saying that if you've seen one 80-year-old, you've seen one 80-year-old. It's when we have any assumption about what any person can do or is capable of or what they're listening to, because they are a certain age, that's ageism, because it's a stereotype. I mean, when I think about how many misconceptions I started out with, I thought, well, older people must be depressed because they must know that death is getting closer and closer. And not only are older people not more depressed, older people have better mental health than the young or middle-aged, but the older people are, the less afraid of dying. And it is the awareness that time is short that enables people to live in the moment. Where the light bulb went off for me was not that the world was full of interesting 80 and 90-year-olds, we all know that. But the research that I started doing around longevity, like the statistic of the percentage of Americans over 65 in nursing homes, I mean, I think, not assisted living, nursing homes, but I think I would have said 20, and it's 4%, down from 5. In the business about people being happier at the end of life, all this stuff took me so by surprise. Why don't we know this stuff? It's easy to find. All those statistics you can find in 5 minutes on the web. And I thought, why is there this discrepancy between our notion of late life and the lived reality that we see with the older people, the vast majority of whom are living independent lives and enjoying them? Why do we have this grim idea? And we all do, I think, most of us. And the reason is because we live in a society that is ageist, that systematically discriminates against older people in medicine, in the media, in every domain that you mentioned. It's hard to see the bias in yourself, and it is hard to call it out. But it's really important, because if you don't do that, then you don't spread the light bulb moment. And the trick is to try and do it in a way that you're not being a jerk. Because if you put someone on the defensive, they not only don't learn, it becomes, a hostile thing that they try not to revisit. So what you want to do is try and say it in a way that gives them time to reflect.